Hi everyone, welcome back to our OOP tutorials. Today in this video we're going to discuss how can we declare and initialize the destructor in our OOP. So this is the main static kind of structure I have made. So here I'm going to call, I have concluded some basic data for the destructor introduction where we can read this all. The first point is destructor is initialized by the icon, the tilde icon, okay, done, that it should have the same name of the class like constructor. It always calls when the object destroyed or when the object got out of the scope. It also a specific special numbers function of a class cannot pass any parameter to destructor, and it also never return any value. So here we got that constructor because I just concluded and I just wrote these points because I thought that these are the most important topics that we must conclude in our coding, and I felt like the destructor must should have this point. Now in this video we'll cover these all points. So let's go back to our code. Over here, this is the most static and the most basic code. I have called the class the name earth. Here's the main. So let's make a constructor. As you know, in my previous video, I have told you that the constructor must have the same name as the class has. So we're going to call the same name of the constructor. We have called the constructor having the same name like a class, and I'm going to see out here, see out the constructor, constructor, constructor has been called. Yeah, finally we are done with the constructor thing, and L semicolon. So here we go. We have the class constructor. We have the class here. We have the constructor. Let's make a destructor. So let's discuss these points too. The destructor is initialized by this icon. Okay, fine. It should have the same name of class like constructor. Okay, we will give the same name like the class we give into the constructor. It always calls when the object destroyed. Well, we'll try this later on. And it also has a special, it is also a special member function of the class. Like for example, because you know the constructor, this constructor is when we call, when we always initialize an object, when we always call an object, then constructor call. But destructor is not a common parameter. It's not a common function. It always calls when the object goes out of the scope or when it is destroyed. So whenever we need to call a destructor, we have to destroy the object or the object must be go out of the scope. So let's go back to our code. Over here we're going to initialize the destructor by the sign tilde. Let's give a new line. Yeah, here we go. Have to give the same name as the class we given. I have made a destructor. So the major difference between this is the constructor, this is the destructor. The major difference between both of them is this one. Like this icon is making the difference between the constructor and the destructor both. So see out, and I'm going to call destructor. Let's copy the above one. I'm going to copy the above one and going to paste it, and let's change this to destructor. The spelling has been wrong. Okay, fine. We have constructor has been called. Let's make an NO. Yeah, here we go. The semicolon. Finally, we are done with the constructor and the destructor. So let's call. It's time to call the constructor or the destructor. So I'm going to call the class earth having the parameter or an object. We can say here because we were like the tree. Okay, fine. We have declared the parameter as a tree, and now I'm going to say that this parameter is an object. Like here I'm making this a parameter by putting the steric, and here I'm saying it's an object. So this object has the above class, which is earth. So here we go. Now just save it, and now I'm gonna just reload it. Let's see what's the output. I hope it will be fine. Here we go. That we have now constructor has been called. Can you see that destructor has not been called? Because we cannot call constructor until we do not really need to. So let's just close it, and I'm going to call the destructor by method. What I'm going to do is delete. What we are going to delete? Tree. We are deleting the tree, the object we have created over here. So what it will do, let me tell you in the snapping tool. I will tell you the method, what is going to be happen. Let's see. So here one this line will be run. This line it will give an earth a parameter, and when it will while we're saying here at this line this is a parameter, on the next line we are saying this is our object. Well, it will run, it will call the constructor, and the constructor will be done, this constructor will be done. But when we delete the tree, it will call, like for we are saying here that object has been deleted. Over here we are saying that delete the object. When we have already called the constructor, but now the object has been deleted, so what will be done, it will call the destructor too. So let's see it over here. We don't know, need to save it, and let's run it. uh, let's see the output. Here you go, that we have called the bot. So in the first one the object has been called, in the second one the object has been destroyed, that's why the destructor has been called. So this is the whole process of OOP destructor. I hope that you got it and these all points have been covered. Thank you so much. If you do really like it, then subscribe it, and see you later. Bye bye.